Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I'd like to talk to you about fusion, and in particular this field maple fusion. Well, to start with, because I was going through some files yesterday and I saw that I started this in 2015, and well, it's not looking bad. Let's come a little closer, we do some close-ups, and then I'll tell you the rest of the story. As I said, this tree started its career as a fusion bonsai in 2015, and well, what we have here is already a nicely fused section. You can see that here, and of course every year this fusion is getting bigger. We already have some fusion here now. Some parts are fused over here. So it's looking okay. You see, we still have a hole here. You can see right through the tree. Yeah, you see, well, but of course this will be over when these trunks are getting bigger, and of course this will fuse. So now the roots. We have a quite consistent root base. Let me measure this. What's this? It's almost 10 centimeters. Yeah, well, depending where you measure it. Something between 8 and 10. Let's say 9 then. Okay, so 9. And I had a nice idea, I thought, this year, because I had a little seedling growing somewhere here, and then I put him flat. And I included it here, and of course this will become the seedling will become a little root. Well, will look like a root. So what I did now is plant all around the tree little seeds of field maples. As I told you before, these grow like crazy in the neighborhood. So when they sprout, I can bend them and include them in the base, which of course is interesting because it will thicken the base, and then it will make some nice aerial, not aerial root, but radial roots. Okay, so, well, the other thing that I had in mind was 5 years to obtain this. It's not bad, but I made some mistakes. So, mistake number 1. Plant small trees around a wooden trunk. It's not a good idea because the wooden trunk will rot, and then it will cause some damage to the growing trees around it, and some of these trees will die, and then of course you have holes. So the best thing, I think, is to bundle trees, a whole lot of trees, and then put them together, because if one dies, if one dies, it's not a problem. That's what I did with the oak tree, so I think that is better. A second big mistake I did is not letting the trees grow strong. I wanted to put them in a bonsai pot because it looks better, it looks cool, and then of course that's what you want, and it looks already like a bonsai, and everyone says, oh yeah man, that looks great, and then of course you realize that the trees are not growing fast enough. So that's the second mistake. I intend today, it's beginning of November 2020, I intend to start a new fusion project with field maples, and I want to time it to see if we use the right techniques, if we are patient, if we use the right pot, if we use good ideas regarding the roots, how fast we can build a tree with a minimum trunk of, well, let's say 12 to 15 centimeters. So let's see what I have to start. Well, of course, seeds. Now these are seeds of a field maple, but I cut off the little wing, and I have a whole lot of them, as you see. These are lots of seeds, didn't count them. So this might already be a nice start to make a fusion tree. So if I put this in a pot, I have a potential of 15 centimeters. And of course this is completely idiotic because I have different layers here and that is of no use. So what I'm going to do is take the other trick and make a circle around it, because these little ones in the circle will be my radial roots, because they are in a circle around the tree. Yeah, this is supposed to be the trunk, the middle part. These ones will grow also in the circle, and then when they are that big I can bend them, make them touch the surface, and then include them in the fusion. And technically, when these circle trees start to grow, they will form the root base. So I think this is possible. Working this way, it does not matter if the middle circle trees are having their roots straight down, which is the best for the tree. They grow happily this way. And the same here, because the root base will be that. Okay, so if I do this, I would have quite a big tree. It's, when I measure this circle, I have 20 centimeters. It's a huge tree. So that's the plan. Let's do it. Okay, I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but I'm going to start with the outer circle. So I'm going to put this pot here in, and then take the seeds that I think I'm going to need and just get them. It's going to be a perfect circle. Of course, this is not really ideal, but yeah, some will make it, some won't. I think most of them are going to make it. So there's no use to put 10 seeds at the same spot. Okay, so I'm gonna finish the back of the circle. Okay, I paused the video, but now I'm around. So okay, not bad. Going to reposition some of these guys, but these are the ones that are supposed to form the radial root system. Yeah, well, most of the times the ideas are okay, but the future will tell. Anyway, it's a nice little project, I think. Everyone can do it. Of course, you need to have quite a lot of seeds. That's why it's always good to work with plants that you have in the neighborhood. So now I'm going to position the trees that have to bundle in the middle. Again, I'm gonna pause the camera. Okay, so the last ones are in position. Of course, it's not completely covered, but thing is, these trees are not going to stay 1 millimeter. In a year or two they will be 1 centimeter, and they will be pushing each other away. So now I have to cover this up with some substrate. I'm trying not to, maybe first I'm going to fill up the gap here between the trunk and the roots. Can I say it that way? So that it does not move too much. Okay, so here looks like surgery. Yeah, that's probably a good plan. Like so. And now I think the rest of the seats can be covered. I will have to put a screen or something on it, because I feel like this is going to be the perfect place to be for the mice in the neighborhood. And then of course, if they eat half of the seeds, we're gonna be in trouble. No use to bury this very deep. If they are just under the ground, it's gonna be enough. I have a big lip here, which will help keeping the trees nice and wet. And as a substrate, I'm just using pot ground and sand, which I found is a really good substrate. It's absolutely not difficult to obtain these things, and that's it. Okay, November 2020. So well, that's it. Tons of seeds in a big pot. It's a big pot. And then, well, we will have to let this grow. I will probably keep you, well, I will surely keep you updated, but I will not touch anything here if everything goes well for the coming year or two. And I hope that in a year or 2 or 3 I can start to bundle these trees and start to make a bonsai out of it. So perfect time to start this. It's autumn. Get out, go collect seeds and try it yourself. Keep me updated, post a video, I'd like to see it all. So thank you for watching and see you next time.